Alright, welcome back to Yahar'gul. Now I'm wearing this fucking Assassin's Creed-esque attire, because it was a bit more convenient. So let's resume where we were left off, having to deal with the upper part of the village with these very unsettling amygdalas climbing on top of the buildings.
Assassin's Creed, you were sitting down looking down in the dumps. There's a metaphor there somewhere.
No haystack to loot, all the humanity.
Well, I was referencing more Ubisoft.
I, for one, would love to not reference Ubisoft. Let's get this. Iron Yahar'gul. Ow! Fuck. I forgot that there's a guy with a sniper rifle. He's awesome.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot the guy with the giant gun in a wheelchair.
Alright, let's remove the go. If I recall correctly, up ahead I have there's the elevator that, yes, I think it's this one. Device not currently operable. Fuck! And I think this is the one that unlocks the shortcut, which means I think I will unlock it later. Let's see, can I just jump down from here? No, definitely. Alright, as I had to districate through the rooftops in here, Dweebs, have you seen anything new recently?
Yes, I've seen that new South Korean movie, No Other Choice.
Right, so, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. I'd say so. Yeah, took a while actually for the killing to start though.
I guess, well, to be fair, okay, it does depend on the story, obviously, but I can't believe the director. Again, I've not seen Just Old Boy, I know that the director is capable of a slow build-up, basically.
Yeah, well, certainly more comedic than say Old Boy.
Yeah, I guess black comedy more anything. Kinda a bit like American Psycho to an extent, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Alright, so the gimmick of the rooftops here is that some of these enemies, the one coated in blood, they will respawn until I kill the woman with the bell that actually is summoning them, so it is best for me to just ignore them. The amygdalas on top of the building will try to grab me, similar to the one that teleported me in the Nightmare Frontier, but will also shoot lasers depending on where you are, so it's best if you're actually having to stand under one of them to just not stand there all the time. As in, you know, run the fuck away as soon as possible, or move on. Motherfucker. That reminds me of another thing that I wanted to ask for a while, Dweebs, just a minor thing that I'm curious about. Do you know anything about the British TV series, old TV series called, I think it's called like The Persuaders? Or The Pursuers, I forgot specifically which of
The
the two.
Persuaders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's fairly simple as a premise and definitely a product of its time because it's about two playboys who not solve mysteries but, you know, fight crimes just in their own way. That's a closed door.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I haven't seen an episode. I mean, I know it's got Roger Moore in it.
Yeah. I know it because I might have seen the pilot of it, just the pilot. Oh, there's the woman. Be gone. Um, might have just seen just the pilot because the series in my country had a different title. It was called Watch Out for Those Two. Really. I know. And for some reason, my grandparents did recorded just the pilot, and they showed that to me and my sister at one point. The Menses ritual must be stopped, unless we all become beasts. Yeah, it's a bit late for that. And we get a Bolt Damn Blood Gem. I don't think it's currently useful for any of my weapons. Let's see here. Oh no, this is where I came from. Forgot where I'm supposed to go next. I think there was another door somewhere. Bless us with blood, bless us with blood. No, thank you. Are you still stuck with Kirby Air Riders instead, Shiroi?
Maybe.
Hmm. Oh. Here. Actually, Dweebs, that reminds me. I'm guessing you will actually go and get. Oh, yeah, I can just jump from here. What an idiot. I guess you're gonna get the upgrade to Mario Wonder when it comes out.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that Virtual Boy delivery's coming later in February.
That sounds like a threat.
Well,
Slowly approaching your location.
well, is it a threat if I asked for it?
From a certain point of view.
We probably aren't going to do any commentary things on the peripheral itself.
Not that.
We'll just have to go with emulators.
Yeah. Again, for what it's worth, outside of Jack Bros, like he said, there's nothing much to show. Even the waterboarding doesn't really have that much, you know, to go for.
What about Mario? What about Mario Tennis?
It's fine, but it doesn't like have much in terms of story mode. But again, to answer my question about Mario Wonder.
Yes, yeah, I'm going to try and get that one. Since I already sold Mario Wonder, I'll probably just get it pre-owned again so I can get it cheaper, along with the upgrade pack.
Yeah, this was what I was talking about. What about you, Shiro, instead?
I did get the it wasn't counted in the 3.0 stuff, but I did get the Animal Crossing update, like the upgrade pack as well. And
how is it?
Really good so far, and having too many waterfalls doesn't crash islands anymore. But Tom Nook is as full of shit as ever.
I guess it's a blessing that they stopped adding Mr. Rossetti at this point.
He's there.
Oh, he is? I thought they actually they basically retired him out.
No, they put him in 3.0. He's very helpful, actually.
Yeah, I guess he, you know, that's another evolution of the character. But believe it or not, I kind of was, in a guilty pleasure way, kind of a fan of his whole shtick. Because while technically very aggressive towards the player, I kind of like that he was a way to remind to save before quitting.
Yeah, he was funny, but his whole thing now is like, I feel like it's more of a thing from Nintendo, because one of the lines is like the way the game is played has changed, like kind of thing. So what he does is he can clear out any area of your choosing, and that can be the whole island if you want it to be.
Ah, that's nice.
Oh, speaking of Nintendo, I've recently beat the main campaign for Pokemon Legends ZA.
So, did you enjoy getting on top of the, you know, the list?
I mean, the main campaign itself is solid, if albeit very short.
Yeah, that's one of the things that people noticed compared to Legend.
Yeah, it only lasts it lasts 18 hours, and there was one particular bit that I thought was a bit odd.
I guess it's a spoiler.
Do you guys care about spoilers?
I know everything I need to, so technically no.
I did start playing the New Game Plus for the story mode for Air Riders, because the first ending you get is depressing, and I don't like
Yeah.
it.
Drips was asking Bo if you care about spoilers about Pokemon Legends ZA.
Oh, I didn't hear him, but no, I don't care.
Go on then, Drips.
Alright,
I
then.
found a
There was this weird bit before the climax starts, but you have to take on your rival in a final match to determine who's going to go up to the top of the tower and try and stop the main threat.
Mm-hmm.
I won, but then the rival decides, you know what, I'm going to go up there anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately, well, remember,
It's
been a proud tradition of Pokemon games to have choices that don't matter jack, unfortunately.
I was like, okay, so what was the point of the battle then?
To grind for extra XP, or to actually still be attached for you to an extent. It's just that I get what you mean. I have some catharsis. It's basic storytelling. I don't know.
The story itself is solid. It's just that bit is weird.
Did you cry about who passing away at the end?
Considering where a certain character came from, I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of sad. But no, I wasn't particularly torn up about it.
Fair enough. Alright, sprint a bit past these fellas.
I've yet to get Mega Dimension.
Alright, let's open up the... Yeah, if I recall correctly, this unlocks the shortcut. Alright, it's the other door that I did not open yet, the one that brings me back to the floor level from Yahar'gul. Cute. I completely forgot that the shortcut existed and it was about this. So at the very least... oh, but that is because also... right... it all thanks to Library 4 times for praise, because the lantern here, for some reason, if I recall correctly, has been extinguished, I think? Nightmarish rituals crave a newborn. Find one and silence its harrowing cry. What do you mean by that? Also, you might have noticed that the enemies of the area have changed. There are not anymore the guys with the sacks on their head. Now instead there are these guys instead. That do resemble a bit hunters, but they look substantially different. Well, sorry, I don't have time for you. Let's see if I can find back the elevator. Oh dear. I think the mutated pigs have changed into something else. Yeah, Yahar'gul is one of those places that after you defeat Rom, the vacuum spider, the bottom part changes considerably. For example, the chanting is technically gone. You might notice that you're not hearing it anymore. And there you go, if I recall correctly, I unlocked the shortcut with this elevator. Hello! There you go. That's still the goal for me to actually get to the bottom. It's just that a door that was locked before, now it's basically unlocked, but I need to get there. However, let's see if I can use this to detour for a bit and go to fight the optional boss, or at least try, that I previously skipped. This is a good moment for me to mention. I did sporadically mention stuff about the moon in previous parts, and the fact that now it's blood red. But if you notice, it's a bit hard to spot But the moon, while some clouds actually pass in front of it, like they should, others pass behind it. The skybox is literally telling me that the moon is being overimposed over the clouds where it clearly shouldn't be. And it's clearly not just a programming error, this is intentional to fuck up with your mind.
Maybe the sun and the moon merged in this universe.
Oh yeah, that's the twisted way for the opening of Chowder. You take the moon and you take the sun, and what do you get? Fucked up shit. Also, yeah, enemies too have also changed. In here before there were crows similar to the witches of Amwick, but instead here there's this giant beast. Which is also sad because there were also prisoners here. Not necessarily NPCs you could talk with, but because they will attack you, but clearly people that had been captured, and that's the result of what happened to them. How sad. On the plus side, there aren't as many enemies here as they used to be before, because, again, if you wanted to pay a visit to this area beforehand while being captured, you would have found a considerable amount of resistance here. Bloodstone chunk. And by popping up here instead, we get... it's just a guy that died. I thought I'd been invaded again. No. Thank God. Yeah, you pop up on the outskirts of Yahar'gul. I can summon here someone else. Might as well, I have enough insight to do so.
Ring ring.
Defector Antal, I don't remember who this person is. Hopefully they, again, it's another NPC, but hopefully they will help me. Especially because this, okay, I dread to see how this will look on YouTube, because this upcoming boss was plastering a lot of marketing, and it's particularly cool. It's called Dark Beast Parv. The thing is that it's a giant skeleton that is constantly emitting small parts of electricity. It's not, at least personally I don't believe it's not enough to be, you know, annoying to look at, but I know that YouTube doesn't particularly like electric particles that are of this caliber, so we'll have to see, the audience will have to see the results of this.
Doesn't help that YouTube likes to downgrade, like, footage quality anyway.
Arbitrarily, yes. Oh, motion blur, Jesus. Yeah, it is fairly doable. There you go. The thing with Dark Beast Parv is that if you manage to stagger the guy, they will lose most of the electricity and will flinch down because it's just a bag of bones. Poor guy. So, if you had a sufficiently high level and you're at this point of the game, it's considerably easier than if you actually bother to, you know, get here beforehand. Problem is that, you know, I need to actually properly get there. Ow. To get there, and my big thruster tends to aim on the low side.
We can use this thing for broth afterwards.
Yummers. Electric broth, my favorite. I'm sure there is one in Monster Hunter.
Spicy.
It kind of reminds me how in Monster Hunter World you can literally, not wrangle, but you know, you instead of actually slaughtering some monsters, you can actually put them back in your camp, and you can harvest different parts of them in order to create parts, which includes their skulls.
Lovely.
And again, they don't die, so makes you wonder how we do that, but you know, some questions are better asked. Anyway, there you go, I got the Spark Hunter badge, which if I recall correctly unlocks more weapons in the shop. Another lantern, boop. And unlocking this door that Dark Beast Power was basically guarding, albeit unintentionally, we get to the rear part of old Yharnam. I mentioned it when we got here. Basically, what happened is that if you managed to not enter the, old Yharnam and instead be captured by the people of Yahar'gul, defeat Dark Beast Parl, and open this door, you can actually reach the guy with the Gatling gun, and he will not be hostile to you, and instead would be cordial enough to talk to you because you did not trespass in his turf, technically. And that's where he will tell you more about lore that you're not supposed to know at that point. The fact that old Yharnam is chock full of beasts that were once human who were turned. Again, interesting stuff that just rewards a player that is diligent enough to do without having to compromise stuff for, others that will learn that later anyway.
Yeah. Also, can we borrow the Gatling gun?
Like I said, unfortunately we can't, but the devs did listen to that, but we have to wait a bit before I can tell you more. Alright, let's have one up. Yeah. And let's return to the Yahar'gul Chapel, because I need to get down. So now we can actually instead proceed with the main boss fight of Yahar'gul, which is the one that actually proceeds us forwards. Again, technically speaking, we're not that far off from the end of the game. After this boss fight that we were basically about to have, we will have only one more dungeon, which is a bit longer than the other, but is still considered just one. And technically speaking, the game will be over. But again, don't worry, because we have like 2 other optional dungeons and the entirety of the DLC to still do. So this is technically not over by a long shot. Bloodstone Charm ×2. Good. Hello. Hi, doggy. Yeah, let me just speed up. I probably should have just teleported to the elevator, because that was probably the better option, but hey, what can you do? Unfortunately, that means I need to go to the direction where that beast is going. This amass of corpses and skulls. Let's see if I can... Yeah, thankfully I can still kill them relatively easily, but I need to make sure to have to get the drop on them. Oh. I also need to get rid of this guy with the gun, because again, even this late into the game, they still want to use me as target practice. So it's not funny. Ow.
I'm sure they're having fun.
Behold, a pale blood sky. Yeah, it sure is. It's like that bit with Jerry Seinfeld. He says, "Stop that, it's not funny." Yeah, before that there were a couple of extra minor enemies, like some dogs here, but again, they all have been probably killed, because the door here is open, which leads me to the deeper parts of Yahar'gul. But again, the dungeon is technically not over. Yeah, some of these beasts do have a range attack, apparently. There you go. Hello. vials, always appreciated. I don't remember what's inside here. Let me turn on the lantern. There is also an item here that I will get off screen, which is basically a key that lets you arrive in one of the optional dungeons that I said. But again, in order to get there, you need to do some minor acrobatics, but it's best if I do off screen. Oh, hello. Again. Yeah, get also your item off screen. Oh shit. Yeah, let me just print might as well. There's also someone I can summon here. Oh, Steel Defector, Amygdala. Alright, so this upcoming boss fight should be fine, but I cannot guarantee that I'll be able to do it first try. We'll see how it goes. But needless to say, the opening cutscene is unique, as you're about to witness.
Alright.
Yeah, apparently the chanting just turns the moon black, which hatches like a fucking giant egg. Ew. Ugh. Not the most pleasant looking boss. The One Reborn, as it's called. Now, this actually is a parallel to one of the boss fights that happened in Demon Souls, specifically the Tower Knight, meaning that instead of actually fighting the boss immediately, I best get to the archways up ahead, because if you notice in the cutscene there were, in this case, these women chanting, and yes, they will either power up the boss or target you with spells if you actually leave them alone, so instead, you know, deal with them first. Interestingly enough, this boss, out of all of the ones in the game, this boss is the one that has the least amount of lore in it. You've just been basically told that the witches of Amygdala basically summoned this thing to stop you from getting ahead, and we don't know why. Although it's kind of
they're evil.
Yeah, or maybe everyone is crazy due to the hunt. That's an actual possibility. But here's the fun fact. This boss is fairly unique, you might have noticed, because of the way it was summoned and... oh, Jesus Christ. The way it was summoned and the unique appearance and everything. So, you know, there's definitely a not common quality to it. And the fact that... and the fact that it doesn't get recycled as an enemy later on, or a mini-boss similar to some other, you know, bosses from Soft games tend to do. Like, we were able to see that in Elden Ring, for example. But no, this is not the case here. It is, you know, some unique enemy. So for some reason, one of the tie-in comic books that were made for this game, Bloodborne, depicts as a flashback during a different hunt, this guy fighting another one of the bosses as a, you know, image that one of the hunters is having. I think it's supposed to be a mirage, But it screams to me of a case of, oh, you have only witnessed the game once and you think this is a common occurrence. Oh Jesus. I don't particularly care about the boss theme, but again, I do like, again, you know, disgusting it is, I do really do dig the design of this kind of creature.
I've always had a little, I wouldn't say squeamish, but things that are mostly skeleton yet alive really creep me out.
No, I understand. I know a couple of people I've seen, and know a couple of people that tends to also have the same, you know, thing. It's a bit of an uncanny valley type of effect, basically.
Mm.
Oh, there you go, first try. Fair enough. And we get a yellow backbone, which serves to help more with the optional, you know, seed dungeons. Alright, might as well continue just a bit ahead to give a bit of a tease on what's coming. Why not?
Mm.
There is a guy, a lot of guys actually, oh shit, sitting in chairs with cage contraptions on top of their heads. But seems to be a dead end, so let's inspect this corpse.
I can confirm that he's dead.
Well, what? I'm not sure about that, because we got teleported in another place of the lecture hall. You remember, the place where Patches teleported us in. So, I do wonder. Now, if you remember, getting on downstairs and, you know, getting through the door brings us to the Nightmare Frontier, so obviously we need to find another way, but clearly we have been teleported here for a reason, so we'll figure that out. More sedatives. Oh, there's one of the students. Ow. Bleh. Disgusting. Yeah, you can also notice the fact that we're on the upper floor, but the floor down below is the same that where we were. So again, there's the classic Hidetaka Miyazaki way of showing you where you are in relation to where you were before, that gives a sense of, you know, setting for this. You know, it allows the progression to be eased up on the players, you know, the player's eyes. Ah, stop throwing this white stuff at me.
It's really creepy.
And the fact that all of these are basically university students, you don't have anything better to do?
No comment.
Like, I would make a joke and say that this is the gritty reboot of Animal House, but even the original movie is pretty fucked up, especially more today than it was when it was released. Let's see, is there anyone here on the roof? No, okay. I don't think there's anything else. Ah, no, I can actually move here. Okay. Hello.
Come here often?
As a student, I hope so. Master Willem was right. Evolution without courage will be the ruin of our race. And yeah, if you notice, we're basically above the lecture hall, the place where all the other students are gathered. Speaking of which, here's another one. Hello, again. Let's see, I think I basically gone full circle, but I need to get back specifically in that corner, because there is a bit of a surprise, let's just say that. Yeah, if I recall correctly, if I proceed through that door, I do proceed taking to the next dungeon, but, you know, that in itself will not be fun, so let me instead first deal with these students. Go. Get more bloodstone chunk, which it will be useful for level up my weapon. And there's one of the giant guys. If you recall, these guys were in all over the place in Cathedral Hall. However, this one is a bit more tough and has enchanted fisticuffs. And yeah, a lot of health. Let me see if I can avoid him. Yep, I can. Goodbye.
Hope it's been fun.
Alright, here's the moment of reveal. We're about to actually meet Patches downstairs, and hello.
Do we have to?
Oh, I guess
Yes.
this is the equivalent of the "Would you still love me if I was a worm?" In this case, a spider.
Do you still love him?
I mean, do you even have to ask? And I get the gesture back for life.
Now, wait just a moment. Do you think he'll have me? Me?
Okay, decision time. Do I think ill of Patches or not? Vives.
Yeah, of course I do.
Shiroi.
I'm gonna say no because it's funnier.
Okay. Google coin decision time, Dweebs. Your heads, Shiroi's tails.
Okay. Okay, flipping heads.
Alright. Of course I think he'll of you then.
It pains me to hear it. You made yourself a misreckoning.
I love
This
that.
is like Dwebs putting a gun to Tio's head and making him pick this.
Although I do love the fact that Patches, hearing about that is just, oh, sucks to be you then.
It's plain as a bright star. Now, say in my heart, you were as a lamb to my God. Well, you weren't to know, and it wasn't for you to know. All's well that ends well.
Oh, they even put in his catchphrase, all's well that ends well. And I can also unlock the door that he was standing behind as a shortcut to the lower level.
No matter. Such details are trifling.
Yes, there you go. See? Being honest with him. That helps you.
Well, as he said himself, we're still fast friends, and that's what matters. And I get a rune, anti-clockwise metamorphosis.
Oh, doubt me not, sweet compeer. What is friendship but a chance encounter?
Yeah, I agree.
Well met. My apologies, but I feel a profound thought occurring on the good grace of a certain god and the way he meted out his love.
Okay, after this, if you delve enough into the seed dungeons, patches will actually become one of those kind of merchants that sell you stuff in the middle of a dungeon if you need extra supplies. So that's pretty neat. Of course, it jacks up the prices, but you have to deal with that. The Nameless Moon Presence, backed by Lawrence and his associates, Pale Blood. Remember, I know that it's been a long time, but this is what we've been seeking, Pale Blood. So this is actually an important clue of what we need to find or do. Apparently this Nameless Moon Presence is what we're looking for, but how to get there, we don't know. It's mentioned here. 3 third chords, another important clue. I will remind you all about that before the end. Alright, since we have a bit more time, let's just dwell deep into the nightmare, why not?
Now let me go into a very dark looking room.
Well, it's more about transitioning. Think of it as the darkness corridors in Kingdom Hearts. And yeah, we're properly now in the Nightmare of Mensis. With a lot of rocks with screaming faces. Lovely. I forgot. Oh, another bell ringing woman is around. Lovely. Wasn't there a lantern here around? Let me check. Yeah, this is another place where you can get invaded potentially, so... Okay, I think it's up ahead instead of lantern. No matter. Tread through this anyway. But like I said, this is basically the beginning of the end for the mainline game. While this dungeon will go on for a while, you need to basically have to reach the building, get inside, and get on top of it, and it will take a bit. It's basically your final big set piece of the game. And yeah, there are also the same beasts that we found in the Nightmare Frontier, meaning that we know how to deal with those. Oh, except I forgot that some of these tend to burst into small worm snakes. I forgot about these fuckers. Go. So get more bloodstone chunk. Definitely leveling up my weapon in between parts. And if I recall correctly, this is where, yeah, it starts. Okay, see that light in the distance? That faint light that is in the middle of the bridge between the buildings? Whatever is inside, when the light glows, and if you're not covering up, it will inflict frenzy upon you until it kills you for that. So whatever is inside, it's so incomprehensible and so eldritch that you will literally go insane just by being in whatever is their line of sight. Thankfully, this is where also we find one of the lamps. Boop. So at the very least we can just respawn here if we die. I love this logic. It is forbidden sin to just looking at this.
So why are they putting it so easily out in the open for people to look at?
That's how they get you.
Basically. You basically have to play. You have to basically play a game of not hot and cold, but definitely hide and seek. And unfortunately, there are these beasts roaming around that do not help. But I can just easily go ahead. Ow. Alright, I forgot that the beast too can be afflicted by frenzy. Jesus Christ, I forgot how peaceful they are. Alright, might as well actually end it here because we proceeded decently enough. So, to the next time where we will dwell deep into the Nightmaromancies, either that or I may decide to visit one of the optional dungeons. We'll have to see what happens, so see you then.
See ya.